And we are in record mode.
Thank you very much, EJ. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the regular scheduled meeting for the Board of Public Works for Friday, July 21st, 2023.
Good morning, President Garcia. TJ Knight, Assistant Executive Officer, taking role in establishing quorum. President Garcia, Vice President Villegas, Commissioner Corsand, and Commissioner Reyes are present. We do have a quorum. We're also joined by City Attorney Representative Ms. Hoppenstad. I'm Assistant Executive Officer TJ Knight. President Garcia, we have no speaker cards under public comment, no neighborhood council commentary, and we have no public comment as well.
Okay, given that we do not have general public comment is now officially closed. TJ, do you mind taking down one notch down of the volume? It's a little high. Yes. Sorry, we have a new system. Okay, I'll start with item number 1, the approval of the minutes of Friday, June 30th. Okay, the approval of the minutes, is that better?
Better?
Tiny bit lower.
Still too loud?
Our guard is saying too loud.
Not loud enough, or is it good? Okay.
It's too loud? Okay, good. Okay, I'll talk a little further out. Okay, well, given that there are no general public comments, public comments now officially closed. Moving on to the first item on today's business, which is the approval of the minutes of Friday, June 30th, 2023. Is there a second to my motion to approve this item?
I'll second.
Thank you, VP Villegas. TJ Knight, there's a first by me and a second by VP Villegas to approve the minutes of Friday, June 30th.
Very good. And we will go ahead and take a roll call vote, starting with you, President Garcia.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
Commissioner Corsand.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
All ayes, and the item is approved.
Davis, he's here.
Oh, okay.
He's here.
So we're not currently joined by Davis. We do have a quorum. Upon his entrance into the meeting,
Okay.
I'll announce. And
We do have good morning, everyone. Welcome. It's Friday. It's hot. And we have a new system. Great. All great stuff happening. Welcome everybody who's here in person and those are joining us via the social platform, via virtual platform. Welcome. And we are excited to get going today. We have a relatively short agenda. So let's kind of work with that. I'm going to go a little bit out of order so that we can kind of get as many things on today. So first I'll start with item number 6, status update on major upcoming street improvement projects. Mr. Bingaman.
Good morning, President Garcia, commissioners, board representatives, and I'm sorry, I forgot his name. My name is Paul Bingaman, superintendent with Street Renewal Division of Streets LA. And this information is being provided to keep the public informed on the upcoming resurfacing
Is
process.
the mic on for Mr. Bingaman?
Can
Speak.
you hear me?
Go ahead, Tom.
This information is being provided to keep the public informed on upcoming resurfacing projects and to minimize the impact on the community as well as delays for commuters. For additional information or concerns, you can contact the coordinating section for the Street Renewal Division at 213-847-3200. The following major street project is scheduled in the Valley region during the week of July 23rd, 2023 through July 29th, 2023. On Wednesday, July 18th, 2023 through Wednesday, July 26th, 2023 from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. We will begin coal milling and paving Ventura Boulevard from Sale Avenue to Royer Avenue in CD3 Canoga Park Neighborhood Council Pavement Preservation Fund. Additionally, we will provide an update to our 22-23, it's actually 23-24 pavement preservation program. During the week of July 23rd through July 29th, 2023, the Valley and Metro regions will complete 12 projects for a total of 10.28 lane miles. The press releases were distributed and notifications have been issued. Streets LA has coordinated with the council offices to assist in the outreach to stakeholders. We have coordinated with the Los Angeles Department of Transportation for traffic control assistance. This information is also available on the Streets LA website using the resurfacing open projects icon. This concludes my report.
Thank you so much for your report. Any questions, colleagues? Sorry, that was loud. No questions?
For the record, we are joined by Dr. Davis, President Pro Tem Davis.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Bingaman, have a good rest of the day and good weekend.
You as well.
Lower it down a little bit. Sorry, guys. Thank you for working with our technical difficulties. I'm gonna take us out of order and take another item just to get us moving. Item number 3, this is in Council District 11. Street closures, 96th Street between Vicksburg and Airport Boulevards, landside access modernization program. Recommending the board to 1, approve the request for all full closure of 96th Street between Vicksburg and Airport Boulevards from July 14, 2023 to March 15, 2024 to facilitate the roadway construction of 96th Street. Oh. I gotta lower myself down, TJ. Who's here for item number 3? Oh, we did. Oh. Okay,
Yeah, item number 3 is requested to be withdrawn. It was already heard on the 19th.
okay, no problem. Thank you. Just catching up. Okay, Dr. Davis, you tell me when you're ready? All right. So now we move on to the special day today. Today, we are here recognizing the work and the leadership work from Dr. Davis as he has ventured into making sure that we have Black engineers in our city. And he has done this work for many, many years now. At least I know since I've been here for 6 years, he has been conducting and getting this work of historical Black colleges and universities into city employment. So Dr. Davis, first and foremost, as you walk to the podium, I just want to say thank you for your leadership on this and for what you have done throughout the many, many years to make sure that we do have Black engineers within our city family. Thank you very much for that. And I know you have a whole other team that you're going to recognize, but I wanted to recognize you first, Dr. Davis, for your leadership. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you so much, President Garcia, and to my distinguished colleagues, Corsan and Reyes and Villegas, and our city attorney representative. Today, I'm here to give recognition, and I don't see a lot of the people who've been involved here today, but of those that are, today we wanted to recognize those who are employees of the city who have helped to implement the inclusion of individuals in our city who are individuals who are interested in engineering. When we looked at the data in terms of inclusion of various communities throughout the city, there was an underrepresentation of African-American engineers in the city of Los Angeles. And the leader of our city now, Karen Bass, has spent a lifetime of work towards integration and inclusion, as has our prior leaders, Mayor Eric Garcetti as well. All of the leaders more recently in the time of our leadership in the city have promoted the inclusion of all of the communities in the city of Los Angeles. And so in looking at our data, as we do in every area that we study, we try to make sure that Los Angeles government is extended to all of the communities. And so the individual employees of the city of Los Angeles who have helped to implement making sure that some of the individuals who perhaps did not attend school in California, but yet they attended school where their parents attended to study as engineers, that they too would know that Los Angeles, once they finish their matriculation in higher ed, that their home city is open for employment opportunities, and that we do have some of the best public engineering opportunities right here in the great city of Los Angeles, the second largest city in the United States of America. So today, our dream was to thank all of those people who have, over the few years that we have been implementing this kind of inclusion. When we talk about we are not able to find certain engineering students from California schools, we knew that some of these students, who many of whom attended Los Angeles Unified Schools, were going somewhere to be engineers. But we had not put forth the effort in terms of outreach until over a few years ago that we have been progressively including many of these students working in the city of Los Angeles. So with that, I would like to recognize many of the staff who are engineers, a great deal of them administrators and critical staff who have helped to make sure that we have implemented this program. Let me also say before I begin to recognize them, because they are the core of the success of this program, we were able to, as I did come to you earlier this year, be recognized throughout the United States from the National Society of Blacks in Engineering for the programs that we have implemented and for our outreach, for our inclusiveness. But all of what we receive could not have been possible without the people that we are going to recognize today. And I want to emphasize that hardly half of them are even here today, but I want to begin by recognizing them. First, I have Asia Johnson. Is she here? Come up, Asia. Right. Asia is an employee in the sanitation wastewater division. She's a wastewater manager 2, I think, if that's correct. And I want to thank her. She, from the very beginning that we have been here for the last 3 years, has been critically important in terms of implementing our program. Thank you so very much, Asia. And you can stand right there. Oh, sure. Also, I want to thank a person who really has stepped up to take the leadership in coordinating this program. You know, there are schedules that you have to put together, and there are conversations that need to be had with the various subspecialties of engineering, whether it be structural engineering, civil engineering, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, and environmental engineering, among many other subspecialties for which we have professionals that practice public engineering in the city of Los Angeles. And the person who has stepped up to help coordinate and provide leadership comes from the Bureau of Sanitation, one of our great bureaus here in the Department of Public Works. And he has been critically important in the Professional Association of the National Society of Blacks Engineering, Blacks in Engineering as well. And at this time, I'd like to ask, he is our principal environmental engineer for the Bureau of Sanitation and the chief engineering coordinator for our program. And we're a citywide program. We are programs that touch bases with engineering opportunities throughout the various engineering hiring departments in the entire city of Los Angeles. And a person who has gotten the experience in that coordination that I'm very proud to introduce to some and to present to others, Michael Simpson. Okay. We'll do a big picture too. Next, we have Katrina Forbes. Is she here? She's an equity officer, but is also an engineer from the Bureau of Engineering. Not here. Thirdly, I'd like to ask Anna Lima. Is she here? What was it?
And
Anna?
yes.
Rusty. They didn't have. Thank you so much, Anna. Anna has been intricately involved from the very beginning as well, and we're eternally grateful for her work. Next, we have TJ Knight from our administration in Public Works. And in everything we do, we always lean on our administrators for help. And TJ, we are very eternally grateful as well for all of the work that you do, and sometimes after 5. So thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Next, she's coordinating for everyone else, but she is always at the center of things that are coming out of our commission office, none other than Agnes Miranda, our executive assistant. Thank you so much for your hard work. Thank you. Next, we have Hosey Thomas from the Personnel Office. And I can't tell you how critically important Personnel Office is to the work that we're doing. Thank you, Hosey. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Thank you. Next, we have from the Bureau of Sanitation, the Chief Environmental Compliance Inspector 1, Theodore Higgins. Thank you so much, Theodore. He's often working for Engineer Simpson, but I knew Theodore's father, who was a distinguished pastor in South LA and past president of the Baptist Ministers Conference many years ago. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Oh, another picture.
Yeah.
I'm nervous, that's all.
That's all right. That's all right. All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Next, we have a management analyst from the Bureau of Sanitation as well. And she's always there to help coordinate programs for this HBCU fellowship effort. And we're very grateful for her work as well. Linda Gillespie. Thank you, Linda. We appreciate you. Thank you. Next, we have Brian Johnson, Environmental Engineer Associate 2.
He came representing today.
Too bad our interns aren't here. He's a very brilliant man with the right fraternity. And I think he's one of our lawyers from Loyola Law School, is that right? Did you know?
I'm an attorney, but I'm not an attorney for the city of LA.
Okay. All right. Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Like that jacket. These with the chest. Okay, they're not. Okay, so is that? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have many other staff members from the city of Los Angeles who continue to work hard every day. We are grateful for their work and we will make sure that they are recognized. But this morning, I wanted to thank those who are here, and Madam President, if we could have a picture with those who have come today, just to once again let them know how critically important they are. And we do have another program that is being implemented currently this summer. And I'm sure at the end of their journey, they will come back before the board as well.
Yeah.
So once again, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming and thanking these hardworking City of Los Angeles employees who are at the forefront of inclusion in this city. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Davis, for leading us on that beautiful presentation. We will take pictures in the back. That way and so if you can just excuse us for about 5 minutes while we do that. But I just want to say what a beautiful evolvement you've done of this program from day one to where we're at now. So thank you so much for doing that. It's really nice to have seen the growth come around that. Thank you. All right, everybody, if you can join us to the back. Thank you.
We are once again in record mode and the time is 10:33.
Okay, All right, everyone, welcome back. And that was just a really nice ceremony this morning. Thank you, Dr. Davis, for that.
You.
Moving on to first item on today's agenda, which is the request from the Bureau of Engineering in all council district for a sole source procurement contracts, Strider Corporation, DBA, Handshake Premium Employer Subscription Services, recommending the board to one, authorize the city engineer to sole source the procurement of premium employer subscription services, which includes 4 recruiter licenses for an amount not to exceed $131,900 for a period of 3 years. And 2, authorize the city engineer to negotiate a price agreement with Strider Corporation doing business as Handshake for the above referenced premium employer subscription services. Upon completion of negotiations, the Bureau of Engineering will return to the board with a recommendation for contract award. And this morning we have Ms. Ann Lynn. Welcome.
Good morning, Annalyn Rossi with the Bureau of Engineering. As part of BOE's ongoing succession planning efforts, the Personnel Department has authorized us to conduct on-campus interviews. For a majority of colleges and universities, we are required to use their online platform. 27 of the 32 campuses that we are currently recruiting at use Handshake as their mandatory platform. This is the justification we have to do a sole source procurement for the premium services. In addition to basic services such as being able to post their job posting and scheduling interviews, the premium services allows us to proactively identify and connect with prospective candidates. The request is for a 3-year contract, and we anticipate getting approximately over 50,000 cost savings with a bundle of a 3-year contract. And I'm available for any questions you may have.
Okay, thank you for that, Ms. Rocio. Any questions, colleagues? Hearing none, is there a motion on the table to move item number 1 forward and forthwith?
So moved.
Thank you, VP Villegas. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. TJ Knight, there's a first by VP Villegas and a second by Dr. Davis to move item number 1 forward and forthwith.
Very good. Very good. And we will take a roll call vote on item number 1, starting with you, President Garcia,
Aye.
Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Forsan.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
All ayes, and the item is approved and will move forward forthwith.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Ms. Ann Lynn Rocio, for being here. This contributes and enhances our hiring and diminishing our vacancy rate. So thank you for doing that. Moving on to item number 2, this is a request in all council district for a task order solicitation number 71 for Mars Services, Inc., pre-qualified on-call consultants list, construction management support services. Recommending the board to 1, authorize the city engineer to issue the task to Mars Services, Inc. from the pre-qualified on-call wastewater and environmental engineering services consultant list to provide construction management service as stated in task order number 71 with a budget authority of 10 million, including contingency. This morning we have Mr. Cox here. Good morning, sir.
Morning. So this task order is to provide continued construction management support services at the Environmental Engineering Division for our construction program, which is currently, as of recent, around the 440 million mark. So there's plenty to do, and we want to make sure that we have a new task order issued to a new firm before our current one sunsets this summer. The not to exceed budget being requested is 10 million. And this is intended to provide services for several years. And the construction management services that are typically hired through these kind of task order solicitations would be for in-house construction managers, full-time schedulers, and estimating services. And those estimators not only help us navigate through any commercial issues during construction, but also on the front end, preparing our budgets that go before your board for approval before we advertise projects. The task order solicitation is part of this item. It was solicited to all 24 firms that are currently on the Bureau of Engineering's on-call, pre-qualified on-call wastewater and environmental engineering services list. This was established in 2017 and was recently extended through 2027. Out of the 24 firms, we had 1 response from Mars Services Incorporated, And while we only had one response, the proposal was thorough. They have demonstrated a good understanding of the scope of work and historically have provided excellent service for task order solicitations in the past. For the environmental engineering division, they have served as a subconsultant up to this point. However, this would be their first opportunity as a prime consultant to provide these construction management services for our division. And as I mentioned, they've had a great history of work with the Bureau of Engineering over the years for various programs, including ours. Further, this task is subject to the business inclusion program. And so as part of the proposal, they committed to utilizing 37% of subconsultants. And that spreads through the various business enterprises, MBE, WBE, women, minority business enterprises, small business enterprises, emerging business enterprises, and to say veteran-owned business enterprises. And of all of those categories, they meet or exceed those requirements. And therefore, the Bureau of Engineering does recommend that the board authorize us to issue the task work order to Mars Incorporated off of our established pre-qualified on-call list.
Very well, Mr. Cobb. Any questions, colleagues? Any Vice President Villegas?
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate your report. Thank you, Mr. Cup, for your report. Just wanted to see if you can provide just a little bit more information, just for public record. They're due construction management for our clean water program. So do you have a list of projects that we have in queue where we're going to be needing this service with a budget authority up to $10 million?
Sure. So this is for multi-year. Typically, it's about 4 to 5 years per contract. Now, this $430 million in active projects I spoke to is comprised of over 50 projects from the Bureau of Engineering's Environmental Engineering Division. And we also support a couple of projects that were delivered by LA Sanitation Environment. And they expand through all of the 4 water reclamation plants, the collection system. So that's comprised of odor control facilities. Sometimes we do work within the collection system itself. For Hyperion Water Reclamation Plant, for example, we've had various odor control facility upgrades. We've refurbished our primary batteries projects. We used a very experienced construction manager and scheduling services for that project. We're currently implementing some upgrades and refurbishments of the flare systems. And we recently completed a number of projects at Hyperion in both the Terminal Island Water Reclamation Plant to upgrade the effluent pumping plant at Terminal Island, to upgrade the ammonia handling system for the water reclamation facility there for recycling water. And up at the Donald C. Tillman Water Reclamation Plant, we're using consultant services to help upgrade the headworks and influent gate systems so that they can be reliably operated for the long term. So there's plenty of work to go around. We don't expect a dip in workload anytime soon.
Okay, so there's not a specific project, but as these come up?
Yeah.
Got it.
As they
Okay.
come up.
And I didn't see it in the attachments either, any specific projects, but thank you for that clarification.
Mhm.
I don't have any further questions.
Thank you very much, Vice President Vegas. Commissioner Reyes.
So just also for my edification, assuming that this has been done with other projects before where we have sort of like an additional help, right? To manage our projects. Can you give me an example of some internal controls that we have to assure that we do manage the projects still, right? Because we're not sort of like giving up our control, but what internal controls do we have in place?
Good question. So the approach with these on-call contracts, especially with CM support services, construction management support services, is to provide specialized skills such as construction scheduling, construction estimating, but also provide construction managers where our workload exceeds our baseline staff that's comprised of city employees. So for example, I'm a construction manager. I've been to the city for almost 19 years. And through that time, wherever we have a peak in workload, maybe we have a very challenging or complex project, we may hire in-house construction managers on an as-needed basis, and we define, in concept, the term of those services. Now, down the line, if we have more work and there is the need to justify keeping that consultant on board, we certainly try to do so. Those construction managers are not supervisors per se, but they report to a team that supervises a city employee that supervises a team of construction managers. And so that hopefully answers the question in terms of controlling their resources and to that extent.
Thank you.
City Attorney?
Yes, Mr. Kopp, I think that you did just answer the question, but I wanted to maybe make a more clarify one point.
Sure.
The consultant construction manager who is working with the team is not working alone, but working with city personnel, and therefore city personnel are involved and act as a check, as well as also gain knowledge and use their own practical knowledge on the project. So it's not just hire somebody, close your eyes. It's an integrated approach.
Yeah. Thank you for the clarification. So they may serve as the lead construction manager on a project, but they are part of the city team, so to speak.
Okay, thank you for that. Any other questions, colleagues? Any objections? Hearing none, is there a motion on the table to move item number 2 forward and forthwith? Thank you, Dr. Davis. Is there a second?
A second.
Thank you, VP Villegas. TJ Knight, there's a first by Dr. Davis and a second by VP Villegas to move item number 2 forward and forthwith.
Very good. And we will take a roll call vote on item number 2, starting with you, Madam President,
Aye.
Vice President Villegas,
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis,
Aye.
Commissioner Corsand.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
All ayes. And item number two is approved and will move forward forthwith.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Cobb. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. You too.
All right, moving on to item number 4. This is a request from the Bureau of Street Services in all council districts for a personal service contract amendment number 2, USA Waste of California, Inc., doing business as Waste Management. Recommending the board to 1, approve the second amendment to the contract between the City of Los Angeles and USA Waste of California, Inc., doing business as Waste Management, to add, remove disposal facilities and revise the list of services to be provided at the waste management facilities. And 2, authorize the president or 2 members of the board to execute the second amendment. And this morning we have Ms. Iniguez here. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Good morning, commissioners, staff, and representatives. I'd like to begin with a little bit of background. Streets LA constructs and maintains city streets and sidewalks. During the course of this work, we generate solid waste debris or inert materials consisting mostly of asphalt pavement, concrete, dirt, and sand, which may include rebar and wire mesh. Most of the material generated is recycled by the city or sent to contracted vendors who produce new asphalt or crushed base materials. The materials that are not recycled or to produce new asphalt materials are delivered to the one of 5 current contractors for further recycling and or proper disposal. These contractors recycle and or dispose of inert and mixed inert materials, waste debris, mixed debris, white goods, bulky items, and construction and demolition materials. In December 2019, the board authorized the execution of 3-year contracts covering January 2020 through December 2022 with all 5 contractors, one of which is USA Waste of California, doing business as Waste Management. In February of 2023, the board authorized the execution of amendments with all 5 contractors to extend the term for 1 year plus a 1-year renewal option and to adjust the disposal rates. Now, to bring us to the current request, on March 15th, 2023, Waste Management notified us that their downtown diversion facility would cease operations effective January 1st, 2024, due to the loss of its property lease. They offered to provide at their nearby Mission Road Waste Transfer and Recycling Facility the same services and rates we currently receive from their downtown diversion facility. Additionally, on May 10th, 2023, Waste Management informed us that their East Valley Diversion Facility located in Sun Valley was reaching its daily tonnage capacity. To offset this, they offered the use of their Sun Valley Recycling Park facility, which is located also in Sun Valley, with the same services and rates currently offered at their East Valley Diversion Facility. Well, to summarize, one facility will close in LA as of January 1st. 2 facilities will be added to the contract, one to replace the LA facility when it closes, and the second in Sun Valley will be added in case the current Sun Valley facility reaches its daily capacity. Both new facilities are located within a mile of the respective facility that they will be replacing or complementing. The prices will remain the same. No additional expenses are anticipated, and there are no changes to the terms or cost ceiling. Since Streets LA has and will continue to have a need for services in the LA and Sun Valley areas, we respectfully request the board approve the Second Amendment to ensure that materials continue to be recycled and disposed of efficiently without interruption. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Ms. Angeles, for your report this morning. Any questions, colleagues? Hearing none. We were just discussing a sidebar here that it's just to clarify, we are just changing location, right? Deleting a location and adding another one.
Adding 2 new ones.
2 new
New
ones.
ones.
Got it. Okay. Any questions, colleagues? I'm really loud, TJ. Sorry. Okay, I see none. Seeing none. Is there a motion on the table to move item number 1 forward and forthwith?
So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Reyes. Is there a second?
A second.
Thank you, VP Villegas. TJ Knight, there's a first by Commissioner Reyes and a second by Vice President Villegas to move item number 4 forward and forthwith.
Very good. And we'll take a roll call vote on item number 4, starting with you, Madam President.
Aye.
President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Corson.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
All ayes, and item 4 is approved and will move forward forthwith.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your attention. Thanks.
Moving on to item number 5. This is a joint report by the Bureau of Sanitation and the Bureau of Contract Administration in all council districts for a personal service contract renewal, 3rd 1-year renewal option, sanitation automation master plan, recommending the board to 1, exercise 3rd 1-year renewal options of the on-call personal service contracts with 9 firms, 3DI Inc., CDM Smith, CH2M Hill Engineering, DCSE Inc., Inflection Point Solutions LLC, Generation Computing Inc., Parsons Environment and Infrastructure Group Inc., Tetra Tech Inc., and Western Engineering Inc. And this morning we have Mr. Nicholas Tran here to present on this item. Thank you, sir. Welcome.
Good morning. Nicholas Tran with LA Sanitation, Director of Systems.
Nicholas, I'm sorry to interrupt you. If you could please try and speak right into the microphone. We have a little bit of
How's
touchy
that?
audio issues this morning.
Is that better?
It's Fun Friday here.
We're requesting the approval to exercise the 3rd 1-year renewal on this contract. The original contract was for 5 years with 3 1-year options. It was approved on February 6, 2016 and expired April 7, 2021 with a $20 million overall cost ceiling on this contract. We came before the board for the first 1-year renewal in October 2021. And then last year, we came before the board for a second 1-year renewal on this contract in August 5th, 2022. However, we did increase the overall cost ceiling to this contract to $40 million. However, the amount for each contract still remained the same at $20 million for each of the firms. So we're asking to approve the 3rd 1-year renewal, which will expire next year, April 7th, 2024. And then, so this contract helps is an on-call support contract to help provide technical services or as needed consulting services for our department. Just for your information, we're planning to do a 5-year amendment to this contract. So hopefully we'll bring that before you by the end of the year, before it expires next year, to continue any services and projects that we currently have in queue with this contract. We are also in parallel working on a new RFQ to establish a new master on-call contract so that we can bring in more vendors and local companies that can participate in any of our projects that we may put out that we can't do in-house. Any questions?
Thank you so much, Mr. Tran. Makes sense to me. Any questions, colleagues? I see Commissioner Corson, Vice President Villegas, and Commissioner Reyes. Oh, let's start with Vice President Villegas and then Commissioner Reyes. If you turn on your light, I'll call on you after. Go ahead, VP.
Thank you. Thanks for that clarification. I think I heard you say that you're going to have an RFQ for next year. Is that right?
We're working on an RFQ. We're hoping to bring it next year or as soon as possible, I guess. We're working on the 5-year amendment to kind of hopefully have that gap between this current contract and the new RFQ. RFQs, those contracts tend to take a while to establish.
Sure.
So we're hoping that in the next couple of years that we can establish that RFQ and then slowly phase out the projects that are going to be on that 5-year amendment.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for that clarification. Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tran. VP Villegas, Commissioner Reyes.
I know that there was a charter section 1022 finding on this one, but the finding states that this is the contract that was, approved because there was insufficient number. It's our capacity, our bandwidth issue. But what are we doing to make sure that there is knowledge transfer, that we are not depending on the number of the consultants? And I do agree we need them, but looking forward and being more proactive so that we then develop jobs, we create the jobs that are necessary, and we have the necessary talent pool. What are we doing to increase that workforce?
So our plan for any technology we bring in, we make sure that our teams are trained on it. We're looking at project technology where it's low code and highly configurable where our team can take over. So we work hand in hand with consultants to make sure there's training, on-site training and hands-on training so that our teams can take over. For a long time, we were outsourcing, but we're really looking to bring a lot more stuff in-house. So a lot of these projects that we currently have will eventually phase out because we're looking at technology where staff can really take over and support internally. So I mean, we're still trying to fill our vacancies and bring up our staffing levels to have high redundancy. But we're doing a lot of internal training so that staff can really take on that work. An example would be the Acela platform that's under the Recycler program. It's a software that we use in partnership with Recycler haulers. So initially we had a vendor consultant come in and help implement, but once it was implemented, we have our staff take over and fully support it in-house. So with they work really closely with the consultants to understand the system, and we were able to add positions and look at the expertise, specifically at programming positions, like the program analyst, so that we can bring in-house programming so that staff can do most of the work in-house. So for the example would be a Acela platform where it was highly configurable. It was a system that our staff could learn, and we're fully supporting that system in-house.
So I would like to see a report to the board on a workforce development effort for our IT programs. Just so we're comfortable that we are going to have sufficient bandwidth, and that's not always our excuse to contract this out, because we do need that talent skill, that talent pool within our organization. So if you could take note of that, and TJ can take note of that, so that it could be required for us to, for sanitation to report back on that, if that's okay with my colleagues.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Commissioner Reyes, you want to see a plan that, what I'm hearing is that you want to see a plan that describes how our city family and our city staff will be also well knowledgeable in making sure that the automation, or these services, they're trained so that we don't always have to, just in case, right? Something happens, we're fully equipped to make sure it happens.
Yes, their plan of action.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So perhaps you can give that to us. Commissioner, do you want that to be done in a public forum, or do you want that sent to your email specifically, or do you want it to attach to when the next RFQ starts coming?
I think that would be good if the next RFQ, we do have that information that will help us make our decision.
Correct.
Thank
So
you.
before that, sometime before now, until you start drafting the RFQ.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions, colleagues? Hearing none, are any objections? Hearing none, is there a motion on the table to move item number 5 forward and forthwith?
So move.
Thank you, Commissioner Reyes. Is there a second?
A second.
Thank you, VP Villegas. TJ Knight, there's a first by Commissioner Reyes and a second by Vice President Villegas to move item number 5 forward and forthwith.
Very good. And we will take a roll call vote on item number 5, starting with you, Madam President,
Aye.
Vice President Villegas,
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis,
Aye.
Commissioner Coruscant.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
All ayes, and item number 5 is approved and will move forward forthwith.
Great. Thank you very much, Mr. Chan. Have a good weekend, sir.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, last item on today's agenda, it's an oral report. Item number 7 on solvents, automotives, flammable electronic waste, safe collection centers, update Bureau of Sanitation. This is a continuation from Friday, July 14, 2024. And this morning we have Mr. Park and Ms. Lozano here joining us. Welcome.
Sorry about that. Good morning, Commissioner, President Garcia, and other commissioners. Today, I present the comprehensive reports on solid resources, citywide recycling divisions, safe center operations. First, the data we are presenting is compared to first half of this year compared to last year, first half. The participation level has changed by 3.5% decrease. And our collection has also decreased by 15%. E-waste collection has decreased 14% compared to last year. And used oil collection has decreased by 15% compared to last year. And this numbers is just direct comparison this year to last year. When you think it's this deduction seems is something wrong, but actually it is normalization of our operation. Since pandemic start, we experiencing 60% of increase in participation and volume. But this number is, we are back to pre-pandemic and we are normalizing our operations. So we're glad it is happening this way. So we don't have any extra burdens. We are doing fine. Thank you. And the RSM program is planned to upgrade our city-owned 6 city facilities, safe centers. And we successfully secured the $4.5 million from the bond to upgrade our safe centers. Some of our safe centers, like a Gaffey, it's been temporarily site for over a decade. And finally, with this money, we can put the roof and we can do a major upgrade to making a permanent locations. Due to construction at the LAG water reclamation plant, we temporarily closed the LAG safe centers. This decision ensured our staffs and community safety during the construction. This safe center will be closed more likely end of this year. Happy to report our mobile collection event starting actually tomorrow. After 3 years absence, we are thrilled to announce the restart of our mobile collection event. The upcoming event is the used oil collection and reuse material giveaway in the South Park. We plan to host these events quarterly at various locations to increase accessibility and encourage participation. Household hazardous and hazardous waste contract is approved by the board. Thank you very much for your quick actions. And this is effective as of July 1st, 2023. This new contract will streamline our operations and enhance our capabilities to serve the community better. E-waste RFP recently posted in RAMP on July 14th, and with a proposal due September 28th. We're looking forward to receive competitive bids and strengthening our e-waste recycling initiatives. The Shop Stewardship Program is commencing this month. Board approved the new Shop Stewardship Program with a MED project. The partnership will generate the rebates over $100,000 annually, promoting environmentally responsible disposal of shops waste. The pain care compensation agreement is still pending, but we are having a promising pain care direct reuse compensation agreement in the works. This agreement will further boost our efforts to manage paint waste and reuse program responsibly. The Safe Center operation in LA San have been making a significant strides in recycling and zero waste goals in small step at a time. Despite some challenges, we have seen positive results in HHW, e-waste, and used oil collection. The upcoming upgrade events and our new contracts and partnership will undoubtedly contribute to greener and more sustainable community. Thanks for your attention, and I'm open to any of your questions.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chun, for your report. Any questions, colleagues? Hearing none. For the record, did you say that, I know that right now the current safe centers are open only on weekends, but are we gonna open them up to pre-pandemic time? Is that?
It is open always weekend.
Oh, always has
Always
always
weekend.
been open on weekends. Okay, we never opened during the week.
No.
Okay, understood. And just for the record, it's 9 to 3 p.m. every weekend, Saturday and
Correct.
Sunday.
Saturday
Okay.
and Sunday.
All right, colleagues, any other questions? I'm a full supporter of the safe centers. I love them. I think they're the best. I wish we were open more often than just a 9 to 3, but weekends work out really well for folks. So thank you for doing that. I appreciate it.
Thank you for your support.
All right, well, given that, Dr. Davis?
Yeah, in terms of the safe centers, some time ago, we talked about, and you reported to the board, we were considering establishing a safe center in the South LA area. Is that still a part of the future plan?
We're still working on it, sir.
Okay.
Thank you for that. Okay, there are no more questions, given that they're not. Thank you so much for your report this morning. I appreciate it. Have a good weekend.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, colleagues, have we cleared today's test, TJ Knight?
Yes, we have.
Okay, before we close and adjourn, I just want to say happy birthday to our guard as you will celebrate this weekend. Enjoy. Thank you for keeping us safe. Happy birthday. And with that, it's 11:08 and we are officially adjourned. Colleagues, if you can join me on a quick management meeting in the conference room. Thank you, everyone.